Welcome to the Certified Food Packaging and Contact Material HACCP Compliance Expert course, presented by CDG Training. This program is designed to equip you with the knowledge and skills needed to ensure food safety and compliance in packaging and contact materials. When consumers purchase food products, they often focus on the food itself. However, the safety of food packaging and contact materials is crucial to prevent contamination and ensure consumer safety. This program will guide you through the essentials of HACCP compliance for food packaging and contact materials. Food packaging plays a vital role in preserving food quality and preventing contamination. Poorly controlled food contact surfaces can introduce hazards into food products. This section will cover how packaging ensures quality, prevents contamination, and protects consumers. Understanding food contact materials is essential as they directly or indirectly interact with food. This section categorizes materials like packaging, processing equipment, and utensils, ensuring they don't adversely affect food safety or quality. HACCP principles help organizations identify and control food safety risks in packaging operations. By embedding these principles, companies can proactively manage risks and ensure compliance throughout the supply chain. Packaging systems face various hazards, including biological contamination, chemical migration, and physical contaminants. Identifying these hazards is crucial to prevent food safety incidents before they occur. Compliance with food safety regulations is essential for packaging manufacturers. This section covers material assessment, documentation, supplier verification, and ongoing monitoring to ensure adherence to standards. Traceability systems and supplier controls are vital for maintaining packaging safety and reliability. This section outlines the risk management framework, including risk identification, evaluation, control, and performance review. Modern packaging safety systems leverage advanced technologies for testing, inspection, and compliance. These innovations enhance product protection and operational efficiency. This course will cover food packaging safety principles, HACCP methodologies, contamination prevention strategies, and compliance management systems. You'll gain the skills needed to enhance packaging safety and compliance. CDG Training offers practical and strategic insights into food safety and HACCP principles. Our courses are designed to support global excellence and compliance with international standards. Your journey to becoming a certified food packaging and contact material HACCP compliance expert starts now. Learn, apply, and lead in the field of food safety and compliance. Food safety is a critical responsibility in the global food industry, ensuring the prevention of foodborne illnesses and maintaining regulatory compliance. As supply chains grow more complex, organizations must adopt robust safety measures. Understanding food safety involves recognizing the practices and controls necessary to keep food safe from production to consumption. It's a shared responsibility across the entire food supply chain. Food safety is a strategic business imperative that affects public health, consumer confidence, international trade, business reputation, and regulatory compliance. Organizations must prioritize food safety to avoid serious consequences. As food travels across global borders, the complexity of supply chains increases, presenting unique challenges. Each stage from production to consumption requires careful management to ensure safety. Foodborne illnesses are a significant public health challenge, with symptoms ranging from mild to severe. Preventive food safety systems are crucial in reducing these risks. Understanding the causes of foodborne illnesses is essential for developing preventive controls. Biological, chemical, physical, and allergen exposures are key factors that need to be managed. HACCP is a preventive food safety management system designed to identify and control hazards before they occur. It is recognized globally as a best practice for food safety management. HACCP has evolved from ensuring astronaut safety to becoming a global standard for food safety management. Its preventive approach has transformed the industry. HACCP is built around clear objectives that ensure food safety is managed proactively and systematically throughout the production process. HACCP's 7 principles create a comprehensive and systematic food safety management framework, ensuring hazards are identified and controlled effectively. Numerous international standards address food safety management, ensuring organizations adhere to best practices and regulatory requirements. Governments establish food safety regulations to protect consumers and ensure the integrity of the food supply. Compliance is mandatory and non-negotiable. Food safety compliance involves ongoing processes to meet legal, regulatory, and industry standards, ensuring consistent safety and quality. Food safety professionals are essential for effective safety management, implementing systems, managing programs, and supporting continuous improvement. Effective food safety management leads to measurable improvements in safety incidents, compliance, customer confidence, operational efficiency, and market access. A strong food safety culture is crucial for organizational success, encouraging leadership commitment, employee empowerment, and continuous learning. Despite advancements, challenges in global food safety management persist, requiring adaptive strategies and strong leadership to overcome them. The future of food safety is being shaped by technological innovations, enhancing safety measures and building consumer trust in a complex global food system. This chapter covered the foundational concepts of global food safety management and HACCP compliance, emphasizing the importance of effective systems and future trends. Understanding food safety hazards is crucial for preventing foodborne illnesses. This chapter explores the identification, assessment, and management of these hazards in global food safety. Foodborne hazards can be biological, chemical, physical, or allergenic. Identifying these hazards is the first step in effective food safety management. Proper hazard identification is essential for preventing foodborne illnesses and supporting effective food safety controls. Food safety hazards are categorized into biological, chemical, physical, and allergen hazards, each requiring specific management strategies. Biological hazards include bacteria, viruses, parasites, and molds, which are critical to address in food safety management. Bacteria like Salmonella and Listeria pose significant public health risks and require preventive controls at every stage of the food supply chain. Viruses such as norovirus and hepatitis A are significant food safety hazards, requiring rigorous prevention strategies. Parasites like Giardia and tapeworms can contaminate food and water, posing health risks that require strict monitoring and control. Microbial growth is influenced by factors like temperature, moisture, and nutrients, which are crucial for designing effective food safety controls. Chemical hazards in food safety management include cleaning chemicals, pesticides, and industrial contaminants, requiring strict control measures. Chemical contamination can arise from various sources, necessitating comprehensive control programs to ensure food safety. Physical hazards in food products include glass, metal, and plastic particles, requiring effective detection systems. Physical contamination can occur from equipment damage, packaging materials, and facility structures, requiring regular inspections and preventive measures. Food allergens pose significant hazards, requiring strict management and protection measures for consumers. Cross-contamination occurs when hazards transfer from one source to another, necessitating preventive control strategies. Hazard analysis is a foundational principle of HACCP, focusing on identifying, evaluating, and controlling significant food safety hazards. Risk assessment evaluates the significance of identified hazards, guiding decisions on control measures and resource allocation. Likelihood assessment evaluates the probability of hazard occurrence, supporting effective risk prioritization and management. Severity assessment evaluates the potential impact of hazards on consumer health, guiding the need for robust controls. Risk ranking and prioritization ensure that the most significant hazards receive the greatest attention and preventive controls. Control measures help eliminate or reduce hazards to acceptable levels, forming the core of HACCP implementation. Documentation of hazard analysis activities supports transparency, regulatory compliance, and continuous improvement in food safety management. This chapter provided a comprehensive foundation in foodborne hazards, risk assessment methodologies, and hazard analysis principles. Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point, or HACCP, is a globally recognized system for food safety management. It involves identifying hazards, evaluating risks, and implementing controls to ensure food products are safe for consumers. Modern food safety management requires structured systems to manage these risks effectively. A food safety management system, or FSMS, is a structured framework designed to control food safety hazards. It ensures safe food production by maintaining consistent safety performance. Key components include food safety policies, HACCP programs, and continuous improvement processes. Food safety management systems are crucial for preventing incidents, ensuring operational consistency, and maintaining regulatory compliance. They build customer confidence and promote continuous improvement in food safety performance. Modern food safety systems focus on prevention rather than reaction. By identifying hazards and assessing risks, organizations can implement process controls to prevent problems before they occur, unlike traditional methods that rely on end product inspections. HACCP is a science-based system for managing food safety risks. It involves identifying hazards, assessing risks, implementing controls, and monitoring effectiveness to ensure food safety across the industry. HACCP aims to prevent contamination, reduce food safety risks, and protect consumers. It supports compliance with regulations and improves process control throughout food production. The 7 principles of HACCP form the foundation for its implementation. These include conducting hazard analysis, determining critical control points, establishing critical limits, and more, to ensure comprehensive food safety management. Prerequisite programs are essential for supporting food safety. They include good manufacturing practices, cleaning and sanitation, pest control, and equipment maintenance, forming the foundation for effective HACCP systems. Good manufacturing practices, or GMPs, establish operational requirements for safe food production. They cover facility conditions, equipment management, personnel hygiene, and operational controls to minimize contamination risks. Employee hygiene programs are vital for reducing contamination risks. Key elements include hand washing, personal cleanliness, protective clothing, and illness reporting, all contributing to effective food safety management. Cleaning and sanitation programs maintain hygienic food production environments. They involve surface sanitation, chemical controls, equipment cleaning, and verification activities to reduce contamination risks. Pest control programs are essential for preventing food safety hazards. They involve monitoring activities, facility maintenance, preventive controls, and corrective actions to maintain pest-free environments. Facility and infrastructure management supports hygienic food production. It involves building design, ventilation systems, water supplies, and waste management to reduce contamination opportunities. Equipment maintenance programs prevent food safety risks by ensuring reliable operation and consistent performance. Regular inspections and hygiene conditions are crucial for reducing operational disruptions. Training and competency development are vital for food safety. Comprehensive training on HACCP principles, food safety procedures, regulatory requirements, and operational responsibilities ensures well-trained employees at every level. Developing a HACCP team involves assembling a multidisciplinary group. This includes food safety managers, operations managers, production personnel, quality specialists, and engineering staff to enhance decision-making and hazard analysis. Product description and intended use are crucial for effective hazard analysis. Organizations should clearly describe products, including ingredients, processing methods, storage requirements, and intended consumers. Process flow diagrams illustrate product movement and help identify risks. They serve as essential references for the HACCP team during hazard analysis and plan development activities. Verification of process flow diagrams ensures accuracy, completeness, and operational consistency. It involves confirming that documented steps reflect actual production activities and sequences. Leadership commitment is essential for successful HACCP implementation. It involves resource allocation, employee training, continuous improvement, and compliance initiatives to strengthen food safety culture. Documentation and recordkeeping are foundations of HACCP. They support compliance, accountability, verification, and continuous improvement, ensuring transparency and effective food safety management. Continuous improvement in food safety systems involves internal audits, performance reviews, employee feedback, and corrective actions. It ensures systems remain robust in the face of evolving challenges. This chapter provided a comprehensive foundation in food safety management systems, HACCP principles, and the prerequisite programs that support effective food safety implementation. Hazard analysis is the foundation of every HACCP system and serves as the first and most important HACCP principle. Without a thorough understanding of food safety hazards and their associated risks, organizations cannot effectively establish preventive controls, identify critical control points, CCPs, or develop reliable food safety management systems. Hazard analysis involves systematically identifying biological, chemical, physical, and allergenic hazards that may occur throughout food production, processing, storage, transportation, distribution, and service. Once hazards are identified, organizations must evaluate their significance through risk assessment to determine which hazards require control measures. Modern food safety management relies heavily on risk-based thinking. Rather than treating all hazards equally, organizations assess the likelihood and severity of each hazard to prioritize resources and focus attention on the most significant food safety risks. This approach improves efficiency while strengthening consumer protection. Food safety professionals must understand how hazards enter and move through the food supply chain, as well as the potential consequences. This chapter explores HACCP Principle 1, Hazard Identification Methodologies, Food Safety Risk Assessment Techniques, Hazard Evaluation, Risk Characterization, Preventive Control Selection, and Practical Approaches for Conducting Comprehensive Hazard Analysis. The first HACCP principle is Conduct Hazard Analysis. This principle forms the foundation for all subsequent HACCP activities. Without effective hazard analysis, the HACCP system cannot function properly. Organizations must conduct hazard analyses systematically and thoroughly. Each stage of the hazard analysis process builds upon the previous, creating a structured and reliable approach to food safety management that protects consumers and ensures regulatory compliance. Hazard analysis ensures food safety management efforts focus on significant hazards. Risk-based decision-making improves effectiveness and resource allocation across the organization. Systematically identify all food safety risks present throughout the supply chain. Understand their sources and how they enter the food system. Rank hazards by significance to focus resources where they matter most. Choose appropriate preventive controls to mitigate identified hazards effectively. Ensure consumer safety remains the central objective of all food safety activities. A robust hazard analysis must consider all types of food safety hazards, including biological, chemical, physical, and allergenic. Each category requires distinct identification methods, risk evaluation, and preventive control strategies. A comprehensive hazard analysis helps organizations address potential risks effectively. Biological hazards are among the most significant food safety threats. Organizations should identify potential biological hazards associated with ingredients, processes, and environmental conditions. Preventive controls help reduce microbial risks to acceptable levels. Commonly associated with poultry, eggs, and produce, Salmonella requires thermal processing controls and cross-contamination prevention. Listeria monocytogenes requires rigorous sanitation and environmental monitoring programs. Escherichia coli requires cooking temperature controls and specific interventions. Norovirus, a leading cause of foodborne illness, requires employee hygiene programs and hand-washing controls. Campylobacter, frequently associated with poultry and raw milk, requires thermal processing and cross-contamination prevention. Chemical hazards may originate from a wide range of sources throughout the food supply chain. Organizations should evaluate potential chemical contamination sources systematically. Risk assessments help determine control requirements, and chemical safety supports consumer protection. Effective chemical hazard management requires supplier verification programs, approved chemical lists, proper storage segregation, and employee training on chemical handling procedures. Organizations should maintain chemical inventories, establish maximum residue limits, and implement monitoring programs to ensure chemical controls are functioning effectively. Physical hazards include foreign materials capable of causing injury to consumers. Organizations should identify physical contamination sources and establish preventive measures. Inspection programs support hazard control and consumer protection. Glass fragments from broken containers, light fixtures or equipment. Metal particles from equipment wear, blades, or mesh screens. Plastic pieces from packaging materials, equipment, or utensils. Wood splinters from pallets or wooden equipment. Stones from raw agricultural materials. Each requires specific controls and inspection programs. Food allergens represent significant food safety concerns. Organizations must identify allergen risks throughout operations. Effective allergen management protects sensitive consumers and ensures regulatory compliance across all areas. Allergen cross-contact during production can cause severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Robust allergen controls, dedicated equipment, and thorough cleaning validate or establish preventive measures. Understanding hazard sources improves identification accuracy and helps organizations strengthen preventive controls across the entire food production system. Ingredients and packaging materials may introduce biological, chemical, physical, or allergen hazards. Supplier approval programs and incoming material verification are critical controls. Employees can introduce biological hazards through poor hygiene, illness, or improper practices. Training, health policies, and hand-washing practices help reduce employee-related risks. Equipment may harbor pathogens or introduce physical hazards through wear and damage. Maintenance programs and sanitation procedures control equipment-related hazards. Specific process steps may create conditions favorable to hazard introduction or growth. Controls such as monitoring programs address activity-related risks. Improper storage temperatures, humidity, or handling during transportation can allow hazard development. Temperature monitoring and logistics controls mitigate these risks. Process flow diagrams help organizations identify hazards throughout operations. Hazard analysis should evaluate each process step systematically. Visual mapping improves assessment effectiveness and ensures no steps are overlooked. Flow diagrams illustrate process steps, product movement, and operational activities in a clear visual format. Each step on the diagram becomes a focal point for hazard identification, allowing teams to systematically evaluate what hazards could be introduced, increased, or reduced at each stage of production. Each process step should be evaluated for potential hazards. Systematic evaluation helps ensure hazards are not overlooked, and organizations strengthen food safety management through comprehensive step-by-step analysis. Evaluate incoming raw materials for biological, chemical, physical, and allergenic hazards. Verify supplier documentation and inspect deliveries. Assess temperature control, vehicle sanitation, and cross-contamination risks during product transportation and distribution. Identify hazards introduced or controlled during processing steps, including heating, cutting, and forming operations. Evaluate packaging material hazards, ensuring labeling accuracy, and contamination risks during the packaging process. Assess temperature control, allergen segregation, and pest access during storage activities. Risk assessment evaluates the significance of identified hazards. The objective is to determine which hazards require focused control measures. Risk-based approaches improve resource allocation and ensure the most critical food safety risks receive appropriate attention. Risk assessment generally considers two primary dimensions for each identified hazard: Likelihood and severity. Likelihood refers to the probability that a hazard will occur under normal operating conditions. Severity refers to the seriousness of the consequences if the hazard were to occur and affect a consumer. Not all hazards pose equal risks to consumers. Risk assessment allows organizations to distinguish between hazards that require stringent preventive controls and those that can be managed through standard good manufacturing practices. By combining likelihood and severity evaluations, organizations create rational, defensible bases for food safety decision-making that satisfies regulatory requirements and protects consumers effectively. Likelihood refers to the probability that a hazard will occur. Organizations should evaluate likelihood objectively using available data and evidence. Accurate assessments support better decision-making and more effective preventive control selection. Review past foodborne illness outbreaks, recalls, and internal non-conformances associated with similar products, processes, or ingredients to establish baseline likelihood estimates. Consider environmental conditions, climate, seasonal variations, and environmental monitoring data that may influence the probability of hazard occurrence during production. Handling process steps with multiple steps, ingredients, and handling points generally present greater opportunities for hazard introduction, increasing overall likelihood scores. Human factors including training levels, compliance with procedures, and hygiene practices significantly influence the likelihood of biological and physical hazard occurrence. Severity refers to the seriousness of potential consequences if a hazard occurs and affects a consumer. Hazards with severe consequences require stronger controls. Consumer protection remains the primary objective of all food safety activities. Minor illness involves temporary discomfort, mild symptoms, self-resolving without medical intervention. Serious illness involves significant symptoms requiring medical attention, potential for lasting health effects. Hospitalization involves severe illness requiring inpatient medical care, potential for long-term complications. Death involves fatal outcomes representing the highest severity level, requiring the most stringent preventive controls. Many organizations utilize risk matrices to evaluate hazards systematically. Risk matrices combine likelihood scores and severity scores to produce a risk ranking that helps prioritize hazards. Risk matrices improve consistency and transparency in food safety decision-making. The resulting risk ranking helps organizations allocate resources effectively, ensuring that the most significant food safety hazards receive the most rigorous controls and monitoring attention. Not all identified hazards are equally important. Organizations should focus resources on significant hazards to improve effectiveness and ensure consumer protection. Prioritization is a critical outcome of the hazard analysis process. A hazard is significant if it presents unacceptable risks to consumer health, requires dedicated preventive controls beyond standard GMPs, could impact consumer safety if not adequately controlled, has a reasonable probability of occurrence without controls, or would result in serious illness or injury if consumed. The determination of hazard significance requires professional judgment supported by scientific evidence. Teams should consider regulatory guidance, industry standards, historical data, and scientific research to determine the significance of their products and processes. Significant hazards must be addressed through the HACCP plan with specific CCPs or preventive controls, while non-significant hazards may be managed through prerequisite programs and standard operating procedures. Once significant hazards are identified, organizations establish preventive controls to reduce hazard risks to acceptable levels. Organizations strengthen food safety performance through well-designed and consistently implemented preventive control systems. Thermal processing controls that eliminate biological hazards through validated time and temperature parameters. Refrigeration controls that prevent microbial growth during storage and distribution of perishable products. Vendor qualification programs that verify suppliers meet food safety requirements before materials are accepted. Sanitation procedures that eliminate pathogens from food contact surfaces and processing environments. Segregation, scheduling, and cleaning procedures that prevent allergen cross-contact and ensure accurate product labeling. Hazard analysis should be based on scientific information. Evidence-based decision-making improves reliability and strengthens HACCP effectiveness. Organizations must draw on credible, current sources to support their hazard analysis conclusions. Regulatory guidance from agencies like FDA, USDA, EFSA, and Codex Alimentarius provides science-based guidance for food safety hazards and control measures that organizations should incorporate into their hazard analysis. Sector-specific standards, codes of practice, and technical guidance documents from industry associations provide practical, evidence-based frameworks for hazard identification and control. Peer-reviewed literature, challenge studies, and microbiological predictive data provide quantitative data on hazard behavior, growth kinetics, and control verification. Internal production records, environmental monitoring results, customer complaints, and industry recall data provide valuable historical data with validated likelihood assessments and control validation. Hazard analysis benefits from diverse expertise. Collaboration improves hazard identification and evaluation, and organizations gain broader perspectives that lead to more effective and efficient food safety management systems. Food safety professionals lead the HACCP process, apply regulatory knowledge, and ensure scientific rigor throughout the hazard analysis. Operations managers ensure operational feasibility of proposed controls and support implementation of preventive measures across the organization. Production personnel provide practical knowledge of process operations, equipment behavior, and real-world conditions that influence hazard evaluations. Quality specialists contribute testing data, non-conformance records, and quality system expertise to ensure effective hazard evaluations. Engineers provide technical knowledge of equipment design, process parameters, and engineering controls that influence hazard management. Accurate records strengthen food safety management systems and demonstrate due diligence to regulatory authorities and certification bodies. Documentation is a fundamental requirement of all recognized HACCP-based food safety standards. All hazards considered during the analysis, including those determined to be non-significant, with justification for each determination. Likelihood and severity assessments for each hazard, including the evidence used to support each assessment. Clear criteria for determining hazard significance, aligned with the basis for control selection and verification determinations. Controls selected to manage each significant hazard, including the basis for control selection and validation evidence. Documentation supports compliance with regulatory and certification requirements. Verification provides the basis for internal and external audits and reviews. Continuous improvement creates a baseline for reviewing and updating the hazard analysis and preventive controls. Training supports employee education and program awareness. Traceability enables investigation of food safety incidents and non-conformances. Organizations face various challenges when conducting hazard analyses. Complex processes, limited data, new products, and emerging hazards all contribute to these challenges. Regular reviews help address these issues and support long-term food safety management. Hazard analysis is an ongoing process. Regular updates ensure analyses remain accurate and effective. New products, process changes, regulatory changes, and new hazards all necessitate regular review and adaptation of hazard analyses. Hazard analysis is crucial for the success of the HACCP system. It involves identifying critical control points, developing controls, monitoring activities, and verifying procedures to ensure food safety and compliance. This chapter explored HACCP Principle 1, focusing on hazard analysis and its role in effective food safety management. Key topics included hazard identification, risk assessment, preventive control, and documentation. After completing hazard analysis and identifying significant food safety hazards, organizations must determine which controls are required to prevent, eliminate, or reduce those hazards to acceptable levels. This process forms the basis of HACCP Principle 2, which focuses on identifying critical control points, CCPs. A critical control point is a step where control can be applied to prevent, eliminate, or reduce a food safety hazard to an acceptable level. Identifying these points is crucial because they directly influence food safety outcomes. Organizations use CCPs to identify and systematically address potential hazards in their processes. CCPs focus attention on the most important food safety controls, allowing organizations to allocate resources more effectively and protect consumers. By controlling significant hazards, improving performance, protecting consumers, ensuring regulatory compliance, and enhancing HACCP effectiveness, organizations can maintain high food safety standards. Not every process step becomes a CCP. A process step is designated as a CCP only when specific conditions are met. Hazard analysis results guide CCP determination, ensuring organizations focus on meaningful risks rather than all process activities. The specific CCPs vary depending on products and processes. Organizations must evaluate each operation individually to determine which steps qualify as critical control points. Examples include cooking processes, pasteurization, metal detection, chilling operations, refrigerated storage, and product sterilization. Food manufacturing environments present complex hazard profiles that require carefully identified CCPs. These processes help eliminate potential hazards and ensure food safety. Proper management is essential for consumer protection. Temperature control often plays a critical role in food safety management within food service environments. Organizations must monitor these activities carefully to prevent foodborne illnesses. Key CCPs include cooking, cooling, hot holding, and reheating. Storage and distribution activities may also serve as CCPs. Improper conditions may allow hazards to develop, making thorough evaluation of these processes essential. Key examples include refrigerated transportation and controlled atmosphere storage. Decision trees help organizations determine whether a process step should be classified as a CCP. They provide a structured, repeatable methodology that improves the reliability of HACCP implementation. Decision tree evaluations guide HACCP teams through a logical sequence of questions. These questions help determine CCP status and improve consistency and transparency across the process. Structured CCP identification provides organizations with confidence in their food safety management decisions. Risk management becomes more effective when evaluation processes are systematic and well documented. Some organizations incorrectly designate too many CCPs. This common mistake undermines the effectiveness of the entire HACCP system and should be actively avoided. Organizations should identify only those CCPs that are truly necessary. Critical limits define the boundaries between safe and unsafe operating conditions. They provide measurable criteria for food safety management, allowing organizations to determine objectively whether CCPs remain under control. Clearly defined critical limits improve consistency and accountability across food safety operations. Organizations strengthen food safety systems by establishing precise, measurable boundaries for each CCP. Effective critical limits must meet specific criteria to ensure they reliably protect food safety. Objective measurements improve reliability and decision-making, while well-designed limits help organizations avoid ambiguity in food safety control. The selected limits depend on the hazard and process being controlled. Organizations should use scientifically valid criteria that have been demonstrated to effectively manage the identified food safety hazard. Temperature is among the most common critical limits used in food safety management. It applies across multiple steps in the food production and service, and organizations must monitor temperature accurately to ensure hazard control. Some food safety controls depend on time requirements. Time-based limits help ensure adequate hazard control, and organizations should establish clear, documented requirements for each applicable CCP. Acidity influences microbial growth and survival. Many pathogens cannot grow or survive in highly acidic environments, making pH control a vital food safety control parameter. Water activity influences microbial growth potential. Products with reduced water activity often experience lower microbial risks, and organizations may establish water activity limits for specific products to support food safety objectives. Evidence-based limits enhance food safety reliability. Organizations strengthen compliance and consumer protection by grounding critical limits in rigorous scientific evidence rather than assumptions or tradition. Regulatory requirements ensure critical limits align with safety standards. Organizations must adhere to these limits to ensure consumer protection and legal compliance. Validation confirms critical limits effectively control hazards. It provides confidence in food safety performance through scientific review, process testing, and expert evaluation. Accurate records support audits and inspections, ensuring continuous improvement. Documentation is key to effective HACCP implementation, covering CCP decisions, hazard evaluations, critical limits, and supporting evidence. Regular reviews improve safety systems by addressing complex processes, emerging hazards, new technologies, and regulatory changes. Organizations must adapt to manage these challenges effectively. CCPs and critical limits provide the foundation for controlling food safety risks. Effective HACCP systems require monitoring, corrective actions, verification, and compliance management to protect consumers. Mastering CCPs and critical limits equips professionals with the tools to build robust, auditable, and compliant HACCP systems that meet the highest standards of food safety assurance. After identifying critical control points and establishing critical limits, organizations must ensure that those controls remain effective by daily operations. This responsibility is addressed through HACCP Principles 4 and 5, which focus on monitoring procedures and corrective actions. Monitoring involves observing or measuring critical control points to determine whether they remain within established critical limits. Monitoring provides assurance that food safety controls are functioning effectively, and organizations rely on monitoring to maintain process control. Monitoring is a foundational activity in any HACCP system. Without monitoring, organizations cannot confirm whether food safety controls remain effective. Monitoring supports proactive food safety management by enabling early detection and rapid response. Effective monitoring reduces the likelihood of unsafe food reaching consumers and strengthens operational reliability across the entire food safety management system. Well-designed monitoring procedures improve food safety performance and strengthen organizational confidence in process control. Monitoring systems must meet several key criteria to be considered effective within a HACCP framework. Monitoring activities focus specifically on CCPs, the points in the process where control is essential to prevent, eliminate, or reduce food safety hazards to acceptable levels. Monitoring confirms whether critical limits are being maintained and prevents food safety hazards from becoming uncontrolled. The selected monitoring methods depend on the CCP and associated hazard. Organizations should choose practical and reliable approaches that provide timely and accurate data. Continuous monitoring provides uninterrupted observation of process conditions, allowing rapid detection of deviations and giving organizations real-time visibility into CCP performance. Periodic monitoring occurs at defined intervals and may be appropriate when continuous monitoring is impractical due to operational, technical, or economic constraints. Organizations should establish appropriate monitoring intervals based on the nature of the hazard and the variability of the process. Monitoring often relies on specialized equipment to provide accurate and reliable measurements. Organizations should ensure that all monitoring equipment functions accurately, as reliable instruments are the foundation of effective monitoring programs. Calibration helps ensure measurement accuracy and is a critical component of any effective monitoring program. Accurate measurements are essential for food safety management, and organizations strengthen confidence in monitoring data through rigorous calibration practices. Monitoring responsibilities should be clearly defined to ensure consistent implementation across all shifts and production areas. Employers must understand monitoring requirements and reporting procedures, and clear accountability supports effective implementation of the HACCP system. Monitoring activities should be documented accurately to provide evidence of process control and support compliance and verification activities. Incomplete or inaccurate records undermine the integrity of the entire HACCP system. A deviation occurs when a critical limit is not met. Monitoring systems should detect deviations quickly, as rapid identification supports timely corrective actions and minimizes the risk of unsafe products reaching consumers. Corrective actions are responsive steps taken when monitoring indicates a deviation from established critical limits. Corrective actions help restore process control and protect consumers, and organizations should define corrective actions before deviations occur so that personnel can respond quickly and consistently. Prompt corrective action responses reduce food safety risks and strengthen HACCP effectiveness. Corrective actions serve multiple critical purposes within the food safety management system. Comprehensive corrective action responses improve food safety performance and strengthen organizational accountability. Effective corrective action addresses all aspects of the deviation from initial response through long-term prevention. When a deviation occurs, organizations should take immediate action to minimize food safety risks. Rapid response minimizes risks, and consumer protection remains the priority throughout the corrective action process. Products associated with deviations must be evaluated carefully before any disposition decision is made. Unsafe products should not be released under any circumstances, and product evaluation is a critical step in protecting consumers from harm. Disposition decisions determine how products associated with deviations will be treated and should be based on food safety considerations. Organizations must document all disposition actions appropriately to maintain a complete record of corrective actions taken. Addressing root causes is crucial for effective corrective actions. By focusing on equipment failures, employee errors, process weaknesses, and environmental factors, we can enhance the long-term effectiveness of the HACCP system. Preventive measures are essential to reduce future risks and improve the food safety management system. By updating procedures, repairing equipment, training employees, and improving processes, we can minimize deviations and enhance safety. Accurate documentation of corrective actions is vital for audits and inspections. By identifying deviations, taking actions, evaluating products, and following up, we ensure accountability and continuous improvement in food safety management. Verification of corrective action effectiveness is crucial to ensure that problems are resolved and the HACCP system functions as intended. Activities like monitoring, record reviews, inspections, and process evaluations help confirm corrective action success. Organizations face challenges in monitoring and corrective actions, such as human error, equipment failures, incomplete records, delayed responses, and resource limitations. Addressing these challenges is key to improving food safety performance. Technology plays a vital role in enhancing monitoring and corrective action management. Digital systems, automated alerts, cloud-based reporting, and mobile inspection tools improve visibility and accuracy, enabling proactive approaches to hazard control. Monitoring and corrective actions are key to HACCP success. By focusing on process control, hazard prevention, compliance management, and continuous improvement, organizations can ensure effective food safety controls and strengthen the HACCP system. In summary, effective monitoring and corrective actions are foundational to food safety management. By covering key topics and implementing robust systems, organizations can improve safety, compliance, and continuous improvement. A HACCP system is only effective if organizations can demonstrate that food safety controls are functioning as intended. After establishing hazard analyses, critical control points, critical limits, monitoring procedures, and corrective actions, organizations must confirm that the entire HACCP system remains effective and continues to protect consumers. This responsibility is addressed through HACCP Principles 6 and 7. Verification and validation are essential components of food safety management. Validation ensures that HACCP controls are scientifically capable of controlling identified hazards, while verification confirms that the HACCP system is being implemented correctly and consistently during daily operations. Documentation and record-keeping provide the evidence needed to demonstrate compliance, support audits, facilitate investigations, and verify food safety performance. Regularly reviewing, reinforcing, and continuously improving these activities ensures that organizations never rely on documentation to evaluate food safety performance. Without verification, organizations cannot confidently determine whether food safety controls remain effective. Without documentation, organizations cannot prove compliance or demonstrate due diligence. Together, these activities strengthen accountability, transparency, and continuous improvement. The sixth HACCP principle is establish verification procedures. Verification activities confirm that the HACCP system is operating according to plan and provides confidence in food safety management performance. Verification ensures that critical control points are being controlled with established parameters. It confirms that procedures are assessed to ensure measurements and observations are accurate and timely. Verification also checks that corrective actions are implemented in achieving intended results. Finally, it ensures that the overall HACCP plan remains valid to address current food safety risks. Verification ensures that documented procedures are functioning in actual operations, helping organizations strengthen food safety assurance across all levels of the business. It provides objective evidence that the HACCP system is achieving its intended food safety outcomes. Verification activities reveal gaps in procedures, monitoring, or implementation before they become critical failures. It supports continuous improvement by driving informed decisions that strengthen food safety controls and operational performance. Ultimately, verification ensures that food reaching consumers is safe, meeting regulatory and ethical obligations. Validation and verification are distinct but complementary processes in food safety management. Validation confirms that food safety controls are scientifically capable of controlling hazards and occurs before implementation and after significant changes. It answers the question, can this control work? Verification, on the other hand, confirms that validated controls are being implemented correctly during ongoing daily operations. It answers the question, is this control working? Together, they ensure effective HACCP implementation and compliance. Validation determines whether food safety controls are capable of achieving intended results. It is a science-based activity that must occur before full implementation and whenever significant changes occur in processes, ingredients, or equipment. Validation answers critical questions. Will this control eliminate the hazard? Will this process reduce risk sufficiently? Is the critical limit scientifically justified? These evaluations ensure that controls are effective and based on scientific evidence, regulatory guidance, or industry standards rather than arbitrary decisions. Without validation, organizations may rely on controls that do not adequately protect consumers. Scientific confidence is essential to building a trustworthy HACCP system. Validation provides assurance that control measures are effective, confirms that critical limits are up to date, and offers evidence that food safety hazards are properly managed. It supports compliance with regulatory requirements. Skipping validation can lead to ineffective controls, consumer safety risks, and regulatory non-compliance. Organizations that skip validation risk implementing controls that appear effective but fail to protect consumers in practice. Validation may utilize information from a variety of credible sources. Evidence-based validation improves reliability and compliance, and organizations strengthen food safety decision-making by drawing on multiple types of evidence. Scientific studies, regulatory guidance, industry standards, expert evaluations, and process testing all contribute to a comprehensive validation process. These sources provide rigorous evidence for the effectiveness of control measures, ensuring that food safety practices are based on sound science and industry best practices. Validation demonstrates that food safety controls can achieve desired outcomes. Organizations gain confidence in their HACCP systems through rigorous, documented validation activities. Cooking studies, thermal process evaluations, microbiological testing, challenge studies, and scientific literature reviews all play a role in confirming that controls reduce pathogen levels to acceptable limits. These activities ensure that food safety measures are effective and based on scientific evidence, providing assurance to consumers and regulatory bodies alike. Verification evaluates whether the HACCP system is functioning as planned during ongoing operations. It supports continuous food safety assurance and helps organizations maintain operational control. Each verification activity contributes a unique perspective on system performance. Together, they provide a comprehensive picture of whether the HACCP system is operating as designed and delivering the intended food safety outcomes. Record reviews, internal audits, observations, equipment checks, and monitoring reviews all play a role in this process. Organizations should verify that monitoring activities are performed correctly and consistently. Reliable monitoring is essential for effective HACCP implementation, and verification strengthens confidence in monitoring results. Monitoring verification assesses frequency, measurement accuracy, record completeness, and employee compliance. These activities ensure that instruments and methods produce accurate, reliable measurements at CCPs, and that records are complete and accurate. Verification also checks that employees are following established monitoring procedures during actual operations. Corrective actions should be reviewed to ensure they were properly implemented and effective. Verification confirms that corrective actions achieve intended results and helps organizations prevent recurring issues. It involves verifying that deviations from a critical limit triggered an appropriate corrective action response, including root cause investigation and preventive measures. Effective corrective action verification closes the loop on food safety deviations and prevents systemic failures from recurring. Internal audits are valuable verification activities that provide a structured, systematic evaluation of HACCP implementation. Regular audits identify opportunities for improvement and help organizations strengthen food safety management systems. Audits assess whether HACCP procedures are being followed consistently across all production areas and shifts. They verify that employees understand and adhere to documented food safety procedures and work instructions. Auditors review records to ensure they are complete, accurate, and maintained in accordance with HACCP plan requirements. They also evaluate operational performance to identify gaps between documented procedures and actual practices. Record reviews help verify system performance and provide evidence of compliance and process control. Organizations improve accountability through systematic and regular review of HACCP documentation. Monitoring logs, corrective action reports, calibration records, audit reports, and training records all contribute to a comprehensive record review process. Findings from record reviews should be documented and used to drive continuous improvement in the HACCP system. Monitoring equipment must remain accurate to ensure that CCP measurements are reliable. Accurate measurements support effective food safety management, and organizations strengthen confidence in monitoring systems through regular calibration verification. Calibration reviews against certified reference standards, instrument testing under controlled conditions, performance evaluations at defined intervals, and out-of-calibration investigations and corrections all contribute to ensuring measurement accuracy. Calibration records should be retained as part of the HACCP documentation system and reviewed during internal audits and external inspections. Management should review HACCP performance regularly. Leadership involvement supports continuous improvement and helps organizations strengthen food safety culture at all levels of the organization. Audit results from internal and external audits help to identify systemic issues and improvement opportunities. Compliance trends analyze monitoring data and deviation frequency to identify patterns that may indicate emerging food safety risks. Corrective action effectiveness evaluates whether corrective actions have successfully prevented recurrence of identified deviations. Improvement opportunities identify areas where HACCP controls, monitoring procedures, or documentation systems can be enhanced. The seventh HACCP principle is establish documentation and record-keeping. Documentation provides evidence that the HACCP system is designed, implemented, maintained, and verified effectively. Accurate records support compliance, audits, investigations, and continuous improvement. Documentation shows that the HACCP system was developed using a science-based, systematic approach. It demonstrates that HACCP procedures are being carried out consistently in daily operations across all production areas. Records provide evidence that verification activities confirm the HACCP system continues to function as intended. Documentation is a critical element of food safety management. It transforms a HACCP system from an internal practice into a demonstrable, auditable program. Well-organized documentation strengthens operational control and helps organizations improve transparency across all food safety activities. Documentation provides regulators, customers, and certification bodies with objective evidence that food safety requirements are being met. It enables organizations to trace products, ingredients, and processes throughout the supply chain during investigations or recalls. Comprehensive documentation allows auditors to efficiently evaluate HACCP system design and implementation without disrupting operations. Documented procedures ensure that food safety activities are performed the same way by all employees across all shifts and locations. HACCP documentation defines how food safety activities should be performed. These documents establish clear expectations and provide the framework within which all food safety operations are conducted. The documentation hierarchy moves from high-level policy statements at the top to detailed, step-by-step work instructions at the operational level. Each layer supports and reinforces the layers above it, creating a coherent and traceable documentation system. Records provide evidence of actual activities performed. Unlike documents that describe what should happen, records demonstrate what actually happened, making them the primary evidence of HACCP implementation and compliance. Monitoring records, corrective action reports, calibration logs, audit reports, and training records all contribute to a comprehensive record-keeping process. These records ensure accountability and support continuous improvement in the HACCP system. Monitoring records document CCP performance and are among the most critical records in the HACCP system. Accurate monitoring records support food safety verification and demonstrate process control to regulators and auditors. They must include measurements, observation results, dates and times, and employee signatures to ensure accuracy and correlation with process data. Corrective action documentation should be comprehensive and detailed. Comprehensive records support investigations and audits, and organizations improve traceability through thorough corrective action recordkeeping. Training records are essential for compliance and workforce development. They ensure that training is current and refreshed at regular intervals, covering topics like HACCP procedures and safety protocols. Accurate records also include participant information and assessment results, ensuring employees understand and retain training content. Document control systems ensure that food safety documents are managed carefully. They improve efficiency and compliance by controlling document distribution and tracking revisions. This ensures that only the correct versions reach intended users, and changes are recorded for updates. Digital systems allow organizations to access records instantly from any location, improving efficiency and compliance. They provide enhanced security and better traceability, reducing risks and simplifying reporting. This modern approach streamlines document management and administrative burdens. Organizations should establish record retention policies that define how long each type of HACCP record must be kept. Proper retention supports audits, investigations, and organizations maintain historical evidence through systematic retention management. Documentation plays a critical role during audits. Well-maintained records improve audit readiness and help organizations demonstrate compliance effectively to regulatory authorities, certification bodies, and customers. Organizations may encounter significant challenges in maintaining effective documentation and verification systems. Strong procedures and training help address these challenges, and continuous improvement supports long-term effectiveness. Verification and documentation enable continuous improvement in compliance systems. Organizations use this information to build a stronger, more effective system, identifying patterns and implementing improvements. Organizations must ensure verification, validation, and documentation build food safety systems that are effective, demonstrably auditable, and continuously effective. Food safety is a global concern impacting public health, trade, and consumer confidence. Governments and organizations have established regulations to ensure safe practices throughout the supply chain. As food production grows, compliance with these regulations becomes crucial for maintaining safety and quality. Food safety regulations are essential for protecting consumers from hazards. Organizations must understand and comply with these regulations to ensure safe food production, consumer protection, and public health preservation. Compliance with regulatory standards is vital to protect consumers, avoid legal penalties, maintain licenses, support market access, and enhance reputation. Organizations must prioritize compliance to ensure long-term success. Globalization increases the complexity of food safety regulations. Organizations must adapt to cross-border changes, complex supply chains, and expanding compliance requirements to ensure safety and quality. Government agencies play a crucial role in enforcing food safety regulations. They establish guidelines, conduct inspections, investigate incidents, enforce compliance, and protect public health. International organizations like WHO, FAO, and Codex Alimentarius influence global food safety management. Their guidance supports international trade and consumer protection, promoting harmonized safety practices worldwide. The Codex Alimentarius Commission develops international food safety standards. It focuses on consumer protection, fair trade practices, and harmonization of food safety regulations across nations. HACCP is a regulatory requirement for many food operations, supporting preventive food safety management. It applies to food manufacturing, seafood processing, meat production, and food service operations. Food safety standards provide frameworks for managing risks. Certification demonstrates commitment to safety and improvement, with organizations pursuing certification to meet customer requirements. ISO 22000 is an international food safety standard incorporating HACCP principles. It emphasizes risk-based thinking, management system requirements, and continuous improvement for effective food safety management. FSSC 22000 builds on ISO 22000, offering additional requirements for food safety management. It provides global recognition and supply chain confidence, promoting adherence to high safety standards. BRCGS Food Safety Standard is recognized in food manufacturing and retail. It emphasizes HACCP implementation, product safety, quality management, and operational control to ensure consistent safety. The SQF Food Safety Program provides certification based on HACCP principles. It supports market access, customer confidence, and continuous improvement in food safety performance. The IFS Food Safety Standard focuses on food safety and quality management. It requires HACCP implementation, operational controls, product safety, and regulatory compliance to demonstrate safety capabilities. Compliance programs help manage regulatory and certification requirements. They improve compliance consistency and strengthen operational control through systematic approaches. Monitoring regulatory changes helps maintain compliance. Organizations should track new laws, updates, guidance, and international developments to stay informed and proactive. Internal audits evaluate compliance performance. Regular audits strengthen management and improve readiness for external inspections through systematic internal review processes. Regulatory authorities conduct inspections to verify compliance. Organizations should remain inspector-ready at all times to ensure successful outcomes. Documentation supports compliance by providing evidence of implementation. Accurate documentation improves transparency and accountability, strengthening compliance management through robust record-keeping systems. Employees should understand applicable regulatory requirements. Training supports organizational effectiveness by ensuring employees know how to comply with regulations and report violations. Organizations must address non-compliance issues proactively to strengthen compliance and prevent future problems. Common causes include procedural failures, documentation gaps, training deficiencies, and operational weaknesses. The corrective action process involves identifying the issue, investigating the cause, taking corrective action, and verifying effectiveness. A strong food safety culture is essential for compliance success. Leadership commitment, continuous improvement, employee awareness, procedure adherence, and issue reporting are key components. Leaders must visibly demonstrate food safety values, while employees should be aware of their roles in maintaining compliance. Encouraging open communication about issues fosters a culture of safety. Modern compliance management leverages digital tools to enhance visibility, efficiency, and reporting. Digital document management, compliance dashboards, audit software, and regulatory monitoring tools are essential components. These tools help organizations streamline processes and improve compliance outcomes. Adapting to evolving food safety regulations is crucial for long-term compliance success. Digital compliance systems, sustainability reporting, enhanced traceability, and artificial intelligence are key trends. These innovations help organizations maintain compliance and improve food safety management. This chapter provided an overview of global food safety regulations, international standards, regulatory authorities, compliance management best practices, and future trends. Key topics included global food safety initiatives, regulatory compliance principles, international organizations, HACCP requirements, ISO standards, and compliance management systems. Food safety systems require continuous evaluation to ensure they remain effective, compliant, and capable of protecting consumers. Even the most comprehensive HACCP programs can become ineffective if procedures are not followed consistently or if emerging risks are not identified and addressed promptly. Food safety audits, inspections, and compliance assessments provide organizations with essential tools for measuring performance, identifying weaknesses, and supporting continuous improvement. A food safety audit is a structured evaluation of food safety systems, processes, and controls. Auditing supports continuous improvement and consumer protection. Organizations strengthen food safety assurance through regular audits. Audits help determine whether HACCP systems are implemented properly, procedures are followed consistently, food safety objectives are achieved, and compliance requirements are met. Regular audits provide valuable information regarding system effectiveness. Organizations gain confidence in food safety performance by verifying controls, identifying weaknesses, improving compliance, strengthening accountability, and supporting certification. Clearly defined objectives improve audit effectiveness and help organizations achieve more meaningful outcomes. Objectives include verifying HACCP implementation, assessing compliance, evaluating operational performance, identifying risks, and supporting improvement initiatives. Organizations may participate in several types of audits, each serving a specific purpose. Organizations often utilize multiple audit programs to ensure comprehensive coverage. Types include internal audits, supplier audits, customer audits, certification audits, and regulatory audits. Internal audits are conducted by the organization itself. They help organizations assess their own performance objectively. Regular evaluations strengthen food safety management and build a culture of continuous improvement. Key benefits include early issue identification, continuous improvement, audit preparedness, and enhanced compliance. External audits are conducted by independent parties and provide objective assessments of food safety systems. Organizations receive valuable independent feedback that internal teams may overlook. Certification bodies, customers, regulatory agencies, and third-party auditors play key roles in external audits. Supplier audits strengthen supply chain controls and improve supplier oversight. Organizations cannot fully control what happens outside their own facilities, making supplier audits essential to comprehensive food safety management. Audit areas may include HACCP implementation, food safety programs, traceability systems, and regulatory compliance. Certification audits assess compliance with recognized international standards. Successful audits may result in certification, demonstrating commitment to food safety excellence. Standards include ISO 22000, FSSC 22000, BRCGS, SQF, and IFS. Regulatory authorities conduct inspections and audits to verify compliance with legal requirements. Consumer protection remains the primary objective. Organizations should maintain ongoing compliance readiness. Key areas include HACCP documentation, facility conditions, employee practices, and monitoring records. Inspectors focus on evaluating actual conditions within operations. They provide real-time information regarding food safety performance, allowing organizations to identify issues quickly before they escalate into serious problems. Inspection activities may include facility observations, hygiene assessments, equipment reviews, and process evaluations. Effective audits require proper planning. Good planning improves audit efficiency and effectiveness, helping organizations achieve better results. Thorough preparation ensures that auditors arrive with a clear understanding of what they are evaluating, what evidence they need to collect, and how findings will be reported and used for improvement. Audit scope determines what areas will be evaluated. Clearly defined scopes improve consistency and focus, helping organizations allocate resources effectively. Areas may include HACCP programs, sanitation systems, production activities, and supplier management. Audits are performed against defined criteria. Clear criteria support objective evaluations and help organizations strengthen consistency across audit programs. Without defined criteria, audit findings become subjective and difficult to act upon. Auditors should remain objective, professional, and evidence-based. Their work supports food safety improvement across the entire organization. Key responsibilities include gathering evidence, conducting interviews, reviewing records, and reporting findings. Accurate and reliable evidence supports accurate findings, and organizations gain confidence in audit results when evidence is robust and comprehensive. Types of evidence include records, observations, interviews, and monitoring data. Interviews help auditors evaluate employee understanding of food safety responsibilities. They provide insight into operational effectiveness that records alone cannot reveal. Competent employees ensure strengthened food safety systems. Document reviews help verify implementation and compliance. Accurate records strengthen accountability and provide evidence that food safety controls are functioning as intended. Key areas include hazard analyses, CCP records, monitoring logs, and corrective action reports. A nonconformity occurs when requirements are not met. Nonconformities indicate areas requiring attention, and organizations should address them promptly to prevent food safety risks from escalating. Examples include missing records, incomplete monitoring, improper temperatures, and procedure deviations. Audit findings are often classified according to severity. Classification supports risk prioritization and helps organizations allocate corrective action resources appropriately. Categories include critical nonconformities, major nonconformities, and minor nonconformities. Organizations should systematically respond to audit findings. Effective responses prevent recurrence and strengthen food safety performance over time. Key actions include root cause analysis, procedure revisions, employee training, and equipment improvements. Root cause analysis helps identify underlying causes of problems. Addressing root causes improves long-term effectiveness and helps organizations reduce recurring issues. Without identifying the true root cause, corrective actions may only be temporary. Systematic root cause analysis is essential for effective corrective action programs. Verification activities ensure that corrective actions are effective. Follow-up audits, record reviews, performance monitoring, and observations confirm successful implementation and help maintain confidence in improvements. Leadership should review audit outcomes regularly. Management involvement supports accountability and continuous improvement, strengthening food safety culture throughout the organization. Reviews may consider compliance trends, risk levels, resource requirements, and improvement opportunities. Technology enhances visibility, efficiency, and data management in audits. Digital audit software, mobile inspection tools, compliance dashboards, and electronic reporting systems streamline processes and enhance reporting capabilities. Organizations should use audits as opportunities to grow rather than mere evaluations. Continuous improvement develops food safety excellence and builds lasting consumer trust. Identify weaknesses, measure performance, support innovation, and encourage accountability. Auditing is not just about identifying problems. It's about strengthening food safety systems, driving continuous improvement, and protecting consumers through effective compliance management. Key topics covered include food safety auditing principles, internal and external audits, supplier and certification audits, regulatory inspections, and analysis plan preparation. Skills developed include evidence collection methods, nonconformity management, corrective actions, root cause analysis, and continuous improvement through auditing. Food Safety Management Systems, HACCP plans, regulatory compliance programs, and operational controls are essential components of food safety. However, even the most comprehensive food safety systems can fail if employees do not consistently follow procedures or if leadership does not actively support food safety objectives. This reality has led organizations worldwide to recognize the importance of food safety culture as a critical element of organizational success. Food safety culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that influence how food safety is managed throughout an organization. It determines how employees think and feel about safety, how decisions are made, how risks are addressed, and how consistently procedures are followed during daily operations. Leadership plays a fundamental role in establishing and maintaining a positive food safety culture. Leaders influence employee behavior through communication, decision-making, resource allocation, training initiatives, accountability systems, and personal example. Strong leadership creates an environment where food safety becomes a core organizational value rather than simply a regulatory requirement. Training and competency development are equally important. Employees must understand food safety risks, HACCP principles, regulatory compliance, and operational procedures. Continuous education helps organizations maintain compliance and adapt to evolving food safety challenges. Food safety culture is defined by the shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that determine how food safety is prioritized and managed within an organization. A strong culture supports effective food safety management by influencing daily actions and attitudes. The diagram illustrates the core components of food safety culture: values, attitudes, behaviors, systems, and outcomes. Each element plays a crucial role in shaping how food safety is perceived and implemented across the organization. By fostering a positive food safety culture, organizations can achieve better safety outcomes and ensure consistent adherence to safety protocols. A strong food safety culture leads to improved compliance, reduced risks, increased accountability, strengthened engagement, and support for continuous improvement. Employees are more likely to follow procedures consistently, identify and mitigate hazards, take ownership of their roles, and contribute to organizational success. By embedding a positive food safety culture, organizations create a foundation for ongoing learning, adaptation, and performance enhancement. Organizations with strong food safety cultures demonstrate consistent patterns of behavior and organizational commitment. Key characteristics include leadership commitment, employee involvement, open communication, accountability, and continuous learning. These elements create environments where food safety is prioritized, and organizations strengthen long-term performance. By fostering these characteristics, organizations can ensure that food safety remains a core value and is integrated into daily operations. Leadership significantly influences food safety outcomes. Leaders establish clear expectations, prioritize safety, allocate resources, and ensure accountability systems are in place. The leadership effect box highlights how leaders can transform food safety from a regulatory obligation into a deeply held organizational value. By modeling desired behaviors and supporting food safety initiatives, leaders create an environment where safety is a shared responsibility and a core organizational value. Management commitment is one of the most important drivers of food safety culture. By allocating resources, investing in training, and supporting compliance, management demonstrates that leadership backs words with actions. Active participation in food safety meetings and HACCP reviews further reinforces this commitment. By providing the necessary tools and authority, Management ensures that compliance teams can succeed in enforcing food safety standards. Organizations should define clear food safety objectives that guide decision-making, employee expectations, operational priorities, and continuous improvement efforts. By establishing specific, measurable objectives and communicating them clearly, organizations can better understand their responsibilities and track progress. Objectives transform food safety vision into actionable daily practices for everyone involved. Employee participation is essential for food safety success. Engaged employees are more likely to follow procedures consistently and demonstrate accountability. Team meetings, improvement initiatives, food safety discussions, and suggestion programs encourage active involvement and ownership throughout the organization. By fostering a culture of engagement, organizations can enhance food safety outcomes and ensure that safety remains a priority. Effective communication is crucial for consistent food safety performance. Meetings, digital platforms, training sessions, and visual reminders help ensure that everyone understands their responsibilities and the importance of food safety. By fostering open communication, organizations can address potential issues proactively and maintain high safety standards. Accountability means individuals accept responsibility for their actions and decisions. When accountability is embedded throughout the organizational structure, food safety becomes everyone's responsibility. Clearly defining roles, responsibilities, performance expectations, and reporting requirements ensures that food safety actions have consequences and are consistently upheld. Transparency strengthens food safety culture. Early reporting helps prevent larger problems, and organizations should encourage open communication for effective reporting. Employees should feel comfortable reporting food safety concerns, near misses, operational issues, and nonconformities. By fostering a culture of transparency, organizations can build stronger food safety cultures and prevent issues before they escalate. Training helps employees understand food safety risks, HACCP requirements, compliance responsibilities, and operational procedures. Competent employees contribute significantly to food safety performance, and training supports both compliance and consumer protection. Effective training is an ongoing investment in the people who protect consumers every day. Competence combines knowledge, skills, experience, and behavioral understanding. Organizations should evaluate competency regularly, and continuous development helps employees maintain high-performance standards. Strong competence supports effective food safety management and ensures that employees are equipped to handle food safety challenges. Effective training programs should be relevant to employee responsibilities and help organizations improve operational consistency. Training should address the full spectrum of food safety topics that employees encounter in their daily work. By covering HACCP principles, personal hygiene, sanitation procedures, allergen management, and food defense, organizations can ensure comprehensive food safety training. New employees should receive food safety orientation before beginning work. Early education establishes expectations and organizations reduce risks associated with new employees who may be unfamiliar with food safety requirements. Structured onboarding transforms new hires into informed, capable contributors to food safety from day one. Food safety education should not be limited to initial training. Continuous learning helps employees keep long-term competencies and organizations remain adaptable to change through ongoing education programs. By offering initial training, quarterly refreshers, annual recertification, and emerging risk updates, organizations can maintain stronger food safety cultures over time. Coaching provides practical support and guidance. Mentoring helps employees develop confidence and competence, and organizations strengthen workforce capabilities through structured coaching and mentoring programs. By reinforcing safe behaviors, clarifying compliance expectations, and ensuring operational consistency, organizations can build a stronger, more resilient food safety culture. Recognition programs encourage employees to maintain high standards. Positive reinforcement supports motivation and organizations strengthen food safety culture through genuine appreciation of excellent performance. By offering performance awards, team recognition, and achievement acknowledgements, organizations can powerfully reinforce food safety behaviors and motivate continued excellence. Human factors influence employee performance significantly. Organizations should consider these factors when designing systems and procedures, as supportive environments improve performance and reduce food safety risks. By addressing fatigue, stress, workload, communication challenges, organizational support, and physical environment, organizations can enhance employee food safety performance. Organizations should periodically evaluate food safety culture. Assessments identify strengths and improvement opportunities, and organizations strengthen cultural development efforts through systematic evaluation. By using employee surveys, interviews, observations, and performance reviews, organizations can gain a comprehensive understanding of their food safety culture and make informed improvements. Effective leadership is crucial during food safety incidents. By communicating clearly, making informed decisions, supporting employees, and protecting consumers, organizations can enhance their incident management capabilities. Continuous improvement and organizational excellence are vital for maintaining long-term food safety. By assessing performance, sustaining efforts, identifying opportunities, implementing improvements, and measuring results, organizations can achieve systematic advancement. The future of food safety leadership lies in embracing digital transformation, enhancing employee engagement, integrating sustainability, predicting risks, and building organizational resilience. These elements will guide organizations through complex challenges. This chapter covered essential elements of food safety, leadership, and continuous improvement. By understanding these key topics, organizations can enhance their food safety practices and ensure consumer protection. Modern food safety management extends beyond individual facilities, involving a complex network of suppliers, manufacturers, and retailers. Every stage in this chain is crucial to maintaining food safety, especially when controls are not implemented effectively. As global food networks grow, organizations face challenges related to supplier oversight, product traceability, and recall preparedness. A single failure can impact the entire chain, emphasizing the need for robust safety measures. Supply chain food safety involves managing risks throughout the movement of food products from origin to consumer. Effective controls are necessary at every stage, from sourcing to distribution, to ensure food safety is preserved. Suppliers play a significant role in food safety performance. Strong relationships with suppliers help reduce contamination risks, improve product quality, support regulatory compliance, strengthen consumer confidence, and enhance supply chain reliability. Organizations should purchase products only from approved suppliers to reduce food safety risks. Approved suppliers demonstrate regulatory compliance, consistent quality, and traceability capabilities. Supplier qualification involves evaluating whether suppliers meet organizational requirements. This includes documentation reviews, site audits, certification verification, and product assessments to ensure compliance and quality. Organizations should clearly communicate food safety expectations to all supply chain partners. This includes HACCP implementation, regulatory compliance, food defense controls, allergen management, and traceability systems. Risk assessments should evaluate product type, country of origin, historical performance, supply chain complexity, and regulatory history to ensure food safety. Supplier audits verify food safety performance and provide valuable information regarding supplier operations. Key audit areas include HACCP systems, facility conditions, and traceability capabilities. Supplier performance should be monitored continuously using key performance indicators like product quality, compliance rates, delivery reliability, and corrective actions. Nonconformities must be addressed promptly to prevent recurrence. This involves identifying the issue, notifying the supplier, investigating root causes, implementing corrective actions, and verifying effectiveness. Traceability allows tracking of food products through the supply chain, supporting safety investigations and regulatory compliance. It involves understanding product origin, movement, and destination. Effective traceability strengthens food safety management and enables organizations to respond more effectively to emergencies. It supports efficient recalls, incident investigation, transparency, and compliance. A traceability system includes product identification, batch information, supplier records, receiving documentation, and distribution records to ensure accurate tracking throughout the supply chain. Traceability systems often use the principle of knowing where products came from and where they proceed next. This supports efficient recalls and transparency throughout the supply chain. Products should be identifiable throughout their lifecycle using batch numbers, lot codes, production dates, and supplier identification to support traceability and recall effectiveness. Accurate records support traceability and compliance. Documentation of receiving, production, inventory, and distribution records is essential for regulatory purposes and food safety investigations. A product recall involves removing unsafe products from the supply chain. Rapid response is critical to ensure consumer safety and organizational reputation. Recall preparedness helps organizations protect consumers, reduce business impacts, and improve regulatory compliance. Prepared organizations respond more efficiently during incidents. A well-documented recall plan outlines responsibilities, communication, product identification, and investigation actions to strengthen emergency preparedness. Clearly defined roles improve response effectiveness during recalls. Organizations coordinate activities efficiently when team responsibilities are established in advance. Structured processes improve recall outcomes and help organizations protect consumers more effectively. A systematic approach ensures that all necessary activities are completed in the correct sequence. Effective communication is essential during recalls. Accurate communication supports transparency and trust, and organizations manage incidents more efficiently when communication plans are established in advance. Mock recalls test organizational preparedness and identify improvement opportunities. Testing strengthens recall readiness and helps organizations build confidence in their systems before a real incident occurs. Transportation activities influence food safety significantly. Food safety must be maintained during transit, and organizations should monitor transportation activities carefully to prevent contamination and product deterioration. Food fraud involves intentional deception for economic gain. Organizations should assess vulnerabilities and implement preventive measures, as food fraud can create significant food safety risks for consumers and supply chain partners. Modern organizations increasingly utilize advanced technologies to improve supply chain visibility and efficiency. Technology strengthens supply chain oversight and enables more effective food safety management across complex supply chains. Organizations should regularly review supplier performance, traceability effectiveness, recall readiness, and transportation controls. Continuous improvement strengthens resilience and compliance, and organizations maintain long-term food safety performance through systematic review processes. This chapter explored the critical elements of supplier management, food traceability, product recall management, and global supply chain food safety. These elements form the foundation of modern food safety management and HACCP compliance. Modern food safety management extends beyond preventing accidental contamination. Organizations must protect food products, facilities, employees, and supply chains from intentional threats that can compromise food safety, product integrity, business continuity, and consumer confidence. Food defense involves strategies to protect food products from intentional contamination or malicious acts. Unlike traditional food safety programs, food defense addresses deliberate actions rather than accidental contamination. Organizations must prepare for both categories of risks. Food facilities may face vulnerabilities that could be exploited intentionally. Consumer protection remains the primary objective of any food defense program, and strong programs significantly strengthen organizational resilience and preparedness. Although closely related, food safety and food defense address different threats. Organizations require both programs to ensure comprehensive protection. Integrated approaches strengthen food protection strategies. Organizations should evaluate vulnerabilities regularly. Preventive measures reduce opportunities for intentional harm. Understanding the full spectrum of potential threats is the first step toward effective food defense planning. Insider threats involve individuals with authorized access to facilities or operations. Insiders may possess detailed knowledge of processes, vulnerabilities, and security gaps that external actors do not have. Organizations should implement appropriate security controls and awareness programs to mitigate this risk. Vulnerability assessments help identify areas susceptible to intentional contamination. Risk-based assessments support effective food defense planning, and organizations strengthen preventive controls through systematic evaluation. Physical security helps protect food products and operational areas. Physical protection reduces opportunities for intentional contamination, and organizations continuously improve facility security to address evolving threats. Visitors to food facilities, including suppliers, contractors, auditors, and maintenance personnel, represent a potential security consideration. Controlled access reduces risks and supports facility security objectives. Employees are critical components of food defense systems. Awareness programs help employees recognize and report potential threats, enhancing system-wide vigilance and preparedness through regular, targeted training. Food fraud involves intentional deception for economic gain. Unlike food defense threats, food fraud is primarily motivated by profit rather than a desire to cause harm, though it can create significant food safety risks while undermining consumer trust. Organizations should implement robust preventive measures. Common forms of food fraud present unique challenges and risks. Organizations should assess vulnerabilities systematically across all product categories and supply chain relationships. Global supply chains may create significant opportunities for food fraud. Organizations should strengthen supplier oversight and traceability systems, as supply chain transparency is one of the most effective tools for reducing fraud risks. Risk assessments support targeted prevention strategies, and organizations allocate resources effectively when they understand where fraud vulnerabilities are greatest. A systematic approach ensures no significant risk area is overlooked. Supplier management is a cornerstone of food fraud prevention. Strong supplier oversight improves confidence in product authenticity and significantly reduces fraud risks throughout the supply chain. Traceability strengthens both food safety and food defense programs. Organizations gain greater supply chain visibility through robust traceability systems, which ultimately supports consumer protection across all product categories. A crisis is an event capable of disrupting operations or threatening food safety. Organizations should prepare before crises occur, as preparedness dramatically improves response effectiveness and minimizes harm to consumers and the business. Organizations should establish dedicated crisis management teams to address crises. Clearly defined responsibilities improve coordination during emergencies, and organizations should regularly test their plans to ensure effectiveness. Emergency response plans help organizations manage unexpected situations effectively. Documented procedures improve consistency and preparedness, and organizations reduce confusion during emergencies when plans are clear, accessible, and regularly practiced. Organizations should respond rapidly to suspected outbreaks. Timely responses help minimize impacts, and prepared organizations manage outbreaks more effectively, protecting consumers while limiting regulatory, legal, and reputational consequences. Business continuity planning is essential for organizations to maintain critical operations during disruptions. By having a tested and integrated plan, organizations can recover more effectively from crises. This involves supplier identification, emergency staffing, and communication strategies. Building resilience is not just about surviving a crisis but maintaining the ability to protect customers and services even in adverse conditions. Effective communication is crucial during emergencies. It ensures transparency and coordination among all stakeholders, including employees, regulators, customers, and suppliers. Preparing communication templates in advance can significantly enhance response quality. Testing emergency preparedness programs is vital for identifying weaknesses and improving response strategies. This includes conducting mock exercises, simulations, tabletop exercises, and emergency drills. Regular testing ensures readiness and effective crisis management. Integrating advanced technologies into food protection programs enhances prevention, detection, and response capabilities. This includes surveillance technologies, digital security systems, threat monitoring platforms, and supply chain analytics. These tools help organizations improve food defense and crisis management. Continuous improvement of food protection systems involves regular assessments, procedure revisions, and training updates. This systematic approach enhances organizational resilience and ensures effective crisis management. This chapter covers key topics such as food defense principles, threat assessment, facility controls, and crisis management. The takeaway emphasizes the importance of integrating food defense into broader protection programs for successful outcomes. Food allergens pose significant food safety concerns, affecting millions worldwide. They can trigger severe reactions, making their management a priority for food safety systems and regulations. Understanding food allergens is vital. They can trigger immune responses and require careful management to protect consumers. Organizations must focus on accurate labeling and communication. Effective allergen management protects consumers, reduces legal risks, and strengthens trust. It's a cornerstone of responsible food safety practice. Recognizing food allergy reactions helps organizations manage risks effectively. From skin irritation to anaphylaxis, understanding these reactions is crucial. Major food allergens like milk, eggs, and peanuts are widely recognized. Organizations must declare these allergens to ensure consumer safety. Food allergens are considered hazards within HACCP systems. Addressing these through hazard analysis and control measures is essential for safety. Allergen contamination can arise from various sources, including undeclared ingredients and cross-contact. Identifying these risks is crucial for prevention. Cross-contact occurs when allergens unintentionally mix with non-allergenic products. Preventing this is a key objective for food safety. Allergen risk assessments help prioritize control measures and allocate resources effectively. They are essential for managing potential contamination points. Ingredient control is vital for allergen prevention. Accurate information supports risk management and improves traceability. Suppliers play a critical role in allergen control. Effective oversight strengthens allergen programs and reduces supply chain risks. Segregating allergenic materials prevents cross-contact and improves food safety. Implement robust systems for effective segregation. Equipment management supports allergen control by reducing contamination risks. Implement dedicated equipment and cleaning procedures. Effective cleaning and sanitation reduce allergen risks. Proper procedures ensure allergens are physically removed from equipment and facilities. Employee training is crucial for allergen management. Knowledgeable employees strengthen food safety systems and prevent cross-contact. Accurate labeling is essential for allergen management. Labels must communicate ingredient and allergen information clearly to consumers. Label verification prevents errors and strengthens consumer confidence. Implement systematic processes for effective allergen control. Special dietary requirements must be communicated accurately. Organizations should address allergies, religious practices, lifestyle preferences, and medical conditions. Transparency in consumer communication supports protection and trust. Provide accurate information on ingredients, allergens, and preparation methods. Regulations for allergen management vary globally. Organizations must comply with local requirements to protect consumers and reduce risks. Organizations must establish procedures for responding to allergen-related incidents. Rapid responses help protect consumers, and preparedness improves incident management outcomes significantly. The process involves detection, investigation, product isolation, recall decision, and corrective actions. Allergen recalls are among the most common types of food product recalls globally. With well-prepared incident response procedures, organizations can act faster and more effectively to protect consumers. Modern organizations increasingly utilize digital tools and technology platforms to strengthen allergen management capabilities, improve visibility, and enhance accuracy across the food supply chain. Key technologies include digital ingredient databases, label management software, traceability platforms, and compliance monitoring systems. These tools support organizations in managing allergen declarations, tracking allergens, and ensuring compliance with regulations. Organizations should review allergen programs regularly to ensure they remain effective, current, and aligned with evolving regulatory requirements and industry best practices. Continuous improvement involves risk assessments, audit reviews, supplier evaluations, and training updates. This approach strengthens long-term effectiveness and ensures organizations remain prepared for emerging incidents. This chapter provided a comprehensive exploration of food allergen management, special dietary requirements, and strategic considerations essential for modern food safety professionals. Key topics covered include food allergen fundamentals, allergen risk assessment, cross-contact prevention, ingredient and supplier controls, employee training programs, food labeling requirements, consumer communication, regulatory compliance, incident management, and continuous improvement. Effective allergen management protects more than compliance requirements. It protects consumers, builds trust, and demonstrates an organization's commitment to food safety excellence. The food industry is undergoing a significant digital transformation driven by technological innovation, increasing regulatory expectations, consumer demand for transparency, and the growing complexity of global food supply chains. Traditional food safety management systems that rely heavily on manual documentation, paper-based records, and reactive decision-making are increasingly being replaced by digital, data-driven, and technology-enabled solutions. Modern food safety management extends beyond basic HACCP implementation. Organizations now utilize advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, IoT, devices, cloud-based platforms, blockchain systems, predictive analytics, smart sensors, and data analytics to enhance their food safety management systems to strengthen food safety performance. This chapter explores digital food safety systems, smart HACCP technologies, artificial intelligence applications, data analytics, blockchain traceability, automation, cybersecurity considerations, and future trends shaping the next generation of food safety management. Digital food safety involves the use of technology to improve food safety management, monitoring, compliance, and decision-making. Organizations that embrace digital transformation gain greater control, visibility, and efficiency across their food safety operations. Digital technology enables faster access to information and better process control, allowing organizations to strengthen food safety performance through digital transformation. Key benefits include improved efficiency, enhanced accuracy, strengthened compliance, support for traceability, and reduced operational risks. Food safety management has evolved significantly over time, shifting from reactive, paper-based approaches to proactive, technology-driven systems. Technological evolution continues transforming food safety management at every level of the industry. Traditional systems relied on paper records, manual inspections, and limited data analysis. The digital transition introduced electronic records and monitoring systems. Connected systems now use cloud platforms, IoT devices, and integrated data systems to enable real-time visibility and collaboration. Modern systems leverage predictive analytics, AI, and blockchain for next-generation food safety management. Digital transformation helps organizations gain greater control over food safety processes while supporting continuous improvement initiatives. The benefits extend across operations, compliance, and strategic decision-making. Operational visibility improves oversight of critical processes across facilities and supply chains in real time. Reducing human error minimizes mistakes associated with manual data entry and monitoring. Enhanced data accuracy ensures reliable, tamper-resistant records. Compliance management streamlines regulatory reporting and maintains audit-ready documentation. Improved decision-making enables faster, more informed responses to food safety challenges. Smart HACCP systems combine traditional HACCP principles with digital technologies to create more efficient, consistent, and responsive food safety management programs. These systems improve preventive food safety management and reduce reliance on manual oversight. Automated monitoring uses sensors and connected devices to track critical control points continuously. Real-time alerts are triggered when critical limits are approached or exceeded, enabling rapid corrective action before safety is compromised. Digital record-keeping ensures all activities are captured digitally, creating comprehensive and easily retrievable audit trails. Remote access capabilities allow managers and food safety professionals to monitor operations and review records from any location, improving responsiveness and oversight. The Internet of Things refers to interconnected devices capable of collecting and sharing data across networks. In food safety, IoT systems provide continuous visibility into critical operations and help organizations improve processes control at every stage of production and distribution. Temperature monitoring ensures temperature tracking across storage, processing, and transportation environments. Humidity monitoring tracks relative humidity, ensuring product quality and preventing microbial growth conditions. Equipment performance is optimized through IoT-connected equipment reporting operational status, enabling proactive maintenance and reducing downtime. Environmental monitoring tracks air quality, sanitation conditions, and climatic conditions to ensure safety and compliance. Real-time monitoring enables continuous observation of food safety conditions throughout production, storage, and distribution. Immediate alerts help organizations respond rapidly to deviations, improving food safety assurance and reducing the risk of unsafe products reaching consumers. Refrigeration monitoring involves continuous tracking of cold storage temperatures with automated alerts when thresholds are breached, protecting perishable products. Storage condition tracking monitors humidity, atmosphere, and environmental conditions in warehouses and storage facilities. Production process monitoring tracks real-time processing temperatures, processing times, and critical control point parameters during manufacturing. Transportation monitoring uses GPS-linked temperature and condition loggers to track product integrity throughout the cold chain during transit. Temperature control remains one of the most important food safety requirements. Digital monitoring systems offer significant advantages over traditional manual temperature checks, strengthening temperature management programs and improving consumer protection through enhanced control. Continuous measurements ensure sensors record temperatures at defined intervals, eliminating gaps in monitoring that manual checks cannot provide. Automated alerts send notifications via SMS, email, or app alerts when temperatures deviate from defined limits. Historical data storage compiles temperature data stored digitally, supporting trend analysis, audits, and regulatory compliance. Remote monitoring allows managers to view temperature data from any location, enabling rapid response regardless of physical presence. Cloud technologies provide centralized platforms for managing food safety information, enabling organizations to access, share, and analyze data from anywhere. Cloud systems support organizational flexibility and scalability as operations grow and evolve. Remote access allows food safety records, monitoring data, and analysis to be accessed by authorized users from any device, anywhere in the world. Simplified reporting automates report generation and reduces administrative burden and compliance documentation. Improved collaboration across multiple sites shares information seamlessly, improving coordination and consistency. Data security ensures enterprise-grade encryption and backup systems protect critical food safety information from loss or unauthorized access. Digital documentation systems replace traditional paper-based records, transforming how organizations manage food safety information. Digital records strengthen accountability and improve compliance and audit readiness across the organization. Faster retrieval of digital records can be compared to manual paper filing systems. Reduction in time spent on manual documentation tasks when digital systems are implemented. Complete, time-stamped digital records ensure organizations are always prepared for regulatory inspections. Improved accuracy eliminates transcription errors common in manual record-keeping. Better traceability links ingredients, processes, and products for rapid trace-forward and trace-back investigations. Reduced administrative burden means staff spend less time on paperwork and more time on value-added safety processes. Artificial intelligence, AI, enables systems to analyze large volumes of data and support decision-making at a speed and scale impossible for human analysis alone. AI helps organizations identify emerging risks more efficiently, and data-driven insights improve decision quality across all food safety functions. Risk prediction AI models analyze historical data and predict areas prone to food safety risks before they materialize into incidents. Pattern recognition through machine learning identifies subtle patterns in monitoring data that human reviewers might overlook, flagging anomalies early. Process optimization AI continuously analyzes process parameters and recommends adjustments that improve safety, quality, and efficiency simultaneously. Incident detection automated detection systems identify contamination events faster than traditional monitoring approaches. Machine learning systems analyze historical data to identify trends and predict future events, enabling organizations to shift from reactive to proactive food safety management. Predictive capabilities support stronger prevention strategies and reduce the likelihood of food safety failures. Contamination risk prediction models trained on historical contamination data identify conditions that increase risk, enabling preventive interventions. Equipment failure forecasting predicts maintenance disruptions early, allowing equipment performance data to forecast failures before they disrupt critical food safety controls. Supply chain risk analysis machine learning analyzes supply chain data to identify potential vulnerabilities in the supply chain. Compliance monitoring automated systems track compliance trends and predict where gaps are likely to emerge, supporting targeted corrective actions. Data analytics transforms raw information into actionable insights, enabling organizations to make evidence-based decisions that improve food safety performance and operational efficiency. Analytics support continuous improvement by revealing patterns, trends, and opportunities invisible in raw data. Audit results analysis systematic analysis of audit findings identifies recurring nonconformities, systemic weaknesses, and improvement priorities across facilities. Monitoring records review analysis of HACCP monitoring data reveals process drift and emerging risks before they affect food safety. Complaint trend analysis complaint data analyzed over time surfaces product quality and safety trends, enabling proactive responses. Incident report mining root cause patterns extracted from incident reports inform corrective actions and improvement processes across the organization. Food safety KPIs help organizations measure performance, demonstrate continuous improvement, and identify areas requiring attention. Performance measurement supports continuous improvement and gives organizations visibility into food safety effectiveness. Audit scores world-class food safety programs typically target audit scores above 95%. Training completion rates ensure training must be completed on schedule to maintain competency and compliance. Corrective action leading organizations target corrective actions within 72 hours of nonconformity identification. Audit scores compare internal and third-party audits to benchmark food safety compliance. Nonconformity rates monitor the frequency and severity of nonconformities to identify systemic issues and resolve them. Corrective action completion measure the timeliness of corrective actions to ensure issues are resolved rapidly. Training completion rates ensure all personnel maintain current food safety competencies through timely completion of required training programs. Blockchain provides secure and transparent record-keeping throughout supply chains by creating an immutable, distributed ledger of transactions and events. Blockchain supports supply chain visibility and accountability, improving traceability capabilities for organizations of all sizes. Improved traceability every step in the supply chain is recorded on the blockchain, enabling trace-forward and trace-back investigations within seconds rather than days. Enhanced transparency all authorized supply chain participants can access verified records, creating unprecedented visibility into ingredient origins and production practices. Faster investigations rapid identification of contamination sources during food safety incidents reduces the scope of recalls and minimizes consumer harm. Consumer confidence verified, tamper-proof supply chain records enhance consumer trust and support premium product positioning in the marketplace. Consumers increasingly expect transparency regarding food origins and production practices. Digital systems help organizations provide verifiable information that strengthens consumer trust and improves stakeholder confidence across the entire supply chain. Ingredient sourcing digital systems capture supplier information, certifications, and origin data for every ingredient entering the supply chain. Production history manufacturing records document processing conditions, batch information, and quality checks at every production stage. Transportation activities cold chain monitoring and logistics data provide verified records of product handling from facility to consumer. Automation reduces reliance on manual processes, improving consistency and efficiency while reducing opportunities for human error. Automated food safety operations deliver more reliable outcomes and free skilled personnel to focus on higher value tasks. Automated inspections sensors and AI-powered cameras perform continuous product inspections at speeds and accuracy levels impossible for human inspectors. Robotic processing robotic systems that process foods with consistent precision, reducing contamination risks associated with human contact and sensitive operations. Automated data collection sensors and connected systems capture process data automatically, eliminating manual recording errors and ensuring complete monitoring coverage. Smart packaging intelligent packaging technologies monitor product conditions, detect spoilage, and communicate freshness information throughout distribution. Digital technologies support remote auditing activities, enabling food safety assessments to be conducted efficiently without requiring physical presence at a facility. Remote auditing is increasingly important in modern food safety management, offering organizations greater flexibility and accessibility. Increased efficiency remote audits eliminate travel time and logistics, allowing auditors to conduct more assessments in less time while maintaining thoroughness. Reduced travel requirements virtual assessments significantly reduce costs and carbon footprint associated with traditional on-site audit programs. Faster evaluations digital document review, live video walkthroughs, and real-time data access accelerate the audit process without compromising quality. Improved accessibility remote auditing enables assessments of geographically distant suppliers and facilities that would otherwise be difficult or costly to visit. As food safety systems become more digital and interconnected, cybersecurity becomes increasingly important. Organizations should implement robust cybersecurity controls to protect their systems, ensuring digital resilience supports operational continuity. Potential cybersecurity risks include data breaches, unauthorized access to food safety systems, and operational interference. Cybersecurity controls include access controls and multi-factor authentication, network segmentation and traffic management, regular system updates and patch management, encryption of critical systems, employee cybersecurity training, and regular security audits and penetration testing. While digital transformation offers significant benefits, organizations face key managerial challenges during implementation. Successful implementation requires careful planning, comprehensive training, and strategies to address barriers to embracing new technologies. Technology costs high upfront investment in hardware, software, and infrastructure. Employee resistance change management and training are essential to help employees adapt to new technology. Data management complexities integrating systems, ensuring data quality, and managing large data volumes. Cybersecurity concerns protecting connected systems from threats and ensuring data integrity. Organizations should manage transformation carefully, develop phased implementation plans that address each challenge systematically while building internal capability and confidence in new digital systems. Innovation will continue transforming food safety management, and organizations that embrace emerging technologies will strengthen long-term competitiveness. The next generation of food safety tools will deliver unprecedented levels of visibility, automation, and proactive capability. Advanced artificial intelligence next-generation AI systems will autonomously manage food safety programs, making real-time decisions and continuously optimizing controls without human intervention. Digital twins virtual models of production facilities will enable organizations to simulate scenarios, test interventions, and optimize safety systems before implementing changes. Autonomous monitoring systems self-directing monitoring robots and drones will conduct continuous facility inspections, ensuring compliance and safety. Smart packaging and advanced blockchain. Intelligent packaging with embedded sensors combined with next-generation blockchain networks will provide complete product lifecycle transparency from farm to fork. Organizations should develop structured digital transformation strategies to maximize technology benefits and ensure successful implementation. Strategic approaches improve implementation success and help organizations realize the full potential of digital food safety investments. A successful digital food safety strategy begins with clearly defined technology objectives aligned to organizational food safety goals. Resource planning ensures adequate investment in infrastructure, software, and personnel. Employee training builds the competencies needed to operate new systems effectively. Risk management addresses potential data integrity, and implementation risks. Continuous improvement processes ensure the strategy evolves as technology and regulatory requirements advance. This chapter explored the digital transformation of food safety management, covering the technologies, strategies, and considerations that define modern food safety programs. Digital food safety fundamentals. Technology improves efficiency, accuracy, compliance, and risk reduction. Smart HACCP and IoT automated monitoring, real-time alerts, and advanced record-keeping. AI and predictive analytics. Machine learning and data analytics enable proactive risk management and evidence-based decision-making. Blockchain and automation. Transparent traceability and automated operations improve supply chain visibility and consumer confidence. Future innovation. Digital twins, autonomous systems, and artificial intelligence will continue transforming food safety management. The global food industry is evolving rapidly, driven by technological innovation and sustainability demands. Food safety professionals are now key players in strategic leadership, integrating ESG and risk management into their roles. Modern food safety leadership goes beyond compliance, incorporating strategic thinking and sustainability. Leaders are shaping the future by integrating risk management and sustainability into their operations. Future trends in food safety include digital transformation, sustainability initiatives, and climate change adaptation. Organizations must adapt to these trends to remain competitive. Sustainability and food safety are increasingly interconnected, creating long-term value for consumers and stakeholders. Integrated approaches enhance both performance and reputation. Organizations are expected to reduce environmental impacts while maintaining food safety standards. This includes energy efficiency, water conservation, waste reduction, and sustainable packaging. Climate change is reshaping food safety, requiring organizations to evaluate climate-related risks and adapt their safety programs accordingly. ESG integration is crucial for food safety management, contributing to environmental performance, social responsibility, and governance excellence. Transparency in food safety builds consumer trust and brand reputation. Organizations must communicate clearly and verify food safety assurance. Digital transformation is enhancing food safety management through AI, predictive analytics, smart monitoring, and digital compliance platforms. Predictive risk management focuses on anticipating risks before they occur, shifting organizations from reactive to proactive prevention. Building supply chain resilience is essential for food safety continuity, requiring strategic preparation and continuous monitoring. Innovation is driving improvements in food safety management, enhancing monitoring, reporting, traceability, and compliance. A strong food safety culture is a strategic advantage, fostering accountability, engagement, consistency, and continuous learning. Developing future food safety leaders involves strategic thinking, communication, sustainability awareness, technology management, and leadership skills. Continuous learning and professional development are crucial for staying ahead in the evolving food safety landscape. Global collaboration in food safety involves regulatory agencies, industry organizations, academic institutions, and food businesses working together to protect consumers. Building resilient food safety systems involves preparedness, flexibility, continuous improvement, and risk management. The future vision for global food safety includes intelligent monitoring, real-time traceability, automated compliance, and sustainability integration. Completing the Certified Global Food Safety and HACCP Compliance Manager course equips professionals with essential skills for food safety leadership. Get professionally certified with CDG training to advance your career in food safety management. The online learning journey with CDG training is fully automated, offering flexibility and global recognition. Enroll today with CDG training to start your journey in food safety management. Thank you for choosing CDG training as your partner in professional excellence, empowering professionals and advancing food safety worldwide.